Oh, good afternoon everyone from a quite hot, really quite muggy and a little bit noisy Peterborough. So firstly, apologies because, yeah, well, the builders are in. I can hear you going, what is that? What that? Well, underneath that is our new roof. It's only been leaking for 18 years, so you know. I thought we'd try dry roof for once, so yeah, that's all exciting. That's hopefully going to be revealed in the next 2-3 weeks. Hopefully, all going well. Anyway, bit of an update on the garden, particularly given the weather and it's all getting a bit topical at the moment, and tropical. So all those little leaves, the geranium leaves I tried, they all fell victim to the hot weather, mid-July wasn't it, when it was really hot. So yeah, we're not far from where they had the official 41 degrees. Certainly it was 41.5 as I drove over Rutland to get home from work. And of course we've got another hot one coming this week. We do tend to be in the middle of it, and of course being here in Peterborough, we're actually one of the driest areas in the country as well, because all the West and the Midlands take our rain before it gets to us. So a couple of updates. I told you about the geraniums and the cuttings. I've tried a couple of other cuttings, some of them are okay. We're going to wait till the weather's calming down before I try those geraniums again, because there's no reason why they shouldn't work. Now, what is there to show you? Oh, you see, I've kept the vegetables alive. Beans aren't doing that well. Basically, all the flowers fell off when we had the really hot weather. But I managed to keep it alive, and that was one of the things I was going to talk about. Is just what I'm doing to try and save water, save money, etc., etc. Having lived in Australia for a year and tried gardening there during 2-3 weeks of above 40, water saving became a little bit of a habit. Wasn't very successful in Australia during that time. I did end up replacing a lot of plants. I thought I could better leave the garden looking good when the landlady got back. But there's a few things that I'm doing. So firstly, talking about the geraniums, so that was a bit of an attempt to try and change some of the plants to things that are much more water tolerant, drought tolerant, or dry tolerant, shall we say. Fortunately, a lot of herbs, as you know, the garden's a lot of herbs. A lot of herbs are fairly water tolerant. A lot of them grow in the Mediterranean. As you know, it's a fairly dry environment there. So obviously this is our mints. See, they are surviving, as are the geraniums. The geraniums looking great. The Belia is taking a little bit of water, but as they are all self-seeded, I haven't bought any or planted any at all this year. I don't care, so that's okay. What else have I been doing? So yeah, so changing some of the plants in pots. You know, I've already got the olive, as my little collection of Australian plants. They're the lily pillies, the bush limes. They're all bush foods anyway, or bush plants, so they're fairly drought tolerant. I've decided to sacrifice one or two, so some of the cut and come again herbs. That one was sorrel. That was the chervil. I've let them bolt. I've just let them go because they're cut and come again, so we can, when we start to get a little bit of rain, which we will eventually, then we will get back on with those, particularly the sorrel, because I've got a recipe for Ukrainian green borscht, which I'm quite keen to try. So those are pending, and one or two other plants I've just let go. Obviously the pots need quite a lot of water. Been sort of experimenting with water retaining things in the pots, so it's been a bit of a habit for a couple of years to put tea bags in anyway. Some of the ceramic pots I tried using the matting that we use as the filter matting that we use in top of the shower. That doesn't hold a lot of water. That was a bit of a disaster. So back to tea bags it is. Like I said, that's been a little bit of a habit. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I feel better. What else are we doing? Well, so when I moved into the house, I got a water meter. I'm living on my own. It was worth it. Obviously, now I've got a pond. You know, we pay by the litre. But I've got out of the habit of using the hose. I never use the hose on here. I'm not bothered with yellow grass. It's fine. It'll come back. And there's always the clover, which will make it a bit green in places. That's fine, that's not a problem, except that's normal. But what we're trying to use is a lot of grey water. So for the last 2 months we've been using washing up water. Any water that we run through while taps are getting hot, that all gets saved. That's watering the tomatoes in the greenhouse. And then for the last couple of weeks we're doing bath water. I'm putting it in the water butts. So, oh, that one's nearly empty. No, it's about a third full still. We already got a 3/4 bath because the bathroom's so small, but we still get 60 to 80 litres at a time. So half of that will go directly on the garden, half of that will go in the water butts. Great idea, just one warning, after a couple of days it stinks. Don't be surprised. So I've got to make sure that actually the water butts that have got the grey water in get emptied before when we get the rain and started fresh, otherwise that's going to be really rank. But that's definitely meaning I've got enough water, and that's how we're keeping the veg alive. So all the washing up water is going on this bed. So we actually have carrots. This is quite exciting because the last few years they've been piddlingly small, but where is it? There, see, we have a carrot. Most of the beetroot been picked and eaten. We have parsley root, which has finally come up this year, and then got my tomatillos from the fajitas. Can't do without those. But there was something else I wanted to show you. This is quite exciting. I'm ridiculously sad. I know, this is quite exciting. If we go over here, I did a bit of clearing up. This was completely overgrown. I'm showing you this little bit. The bin smells wonderful now because we have blackcurrant sage, we have lemon verbena, we have balm of Gilead. Now I've cut most of that back, but I've kept some seeds on because the birds like the seeds. I want to have rue, all of which smell wonderful. So yeah, clearing this back, and I found this through, and this is really exciting because I've had this tree. This is a loquat, and I've had it about 10 years maybe, and I have a fruit, and it's not quite ready. It's supposed to come off easily if you twist it, but I'm looking forward. Hopefully either the birds are going to get that, or I'm going to get that in the next couple of days. That's really exciting. So yeah, loquat, fantastic sort of sculptural tree, wonderful shape. It's got nice big glossy leaves, but the shapes of the branches are wonderful. Self-fertile, which is good, although I've seen 2 others in Peterborough. One of them over other side of town, in somebody's front garden, one of them up the road. Just typical, isn't it? Yep, but that is a fantastic tree. It doesn't need anything doing with it. I think it probably is the temperatures, the fact we haven't had a hard winter, because it does set flower in the winter, means that I've got fruit. And of course, I'm going to get a chance to eat it and try it. I'm not going to do it now in front of you because it might be disgusting, but we'll find out. Yeah. What else is there to show you? The other advantage, actually, of having sorted out some of the beds, done a bit of a tidy up, and thinking about what I can sacrifice, is that I have managed to just reclaim some plants, found some plants. This is an interesting one. This is called Dittany. There's 2 Dittanies. One's a type of thyme, which has got really pretty pink flowers, and there's this one, and this is called Burning Bush. Now, I haven't tried it. I'm not going to try it on this because I'm rescuing it at the moment, but apparently it sets off a vapour, and if you put a match above it, you can actually set light to the vapour. So yes, just had a bit of a chance to move some plants around, put some stuff in pots, take some out, put some more stuff in the garden, in the ground, although it's not a great ideal time for it. And just take that opportunity while I can't do a lot of planting and things to tidy up, really. Yeah, so the other thing that I tried, that's right, as I say, going back to the saving water, was that suggestion by next door. So our neighbours are Kenyan, and that's to mulch the beds with grass, and I did that for the veg bed which I showed you. So I'm wondering actually if that's the reason why I've had more success this year, because actually we've managed to keep the soil a little bit moist. Yeah, so just a few tips, few things I'm trying. It's hard work. There's a lot of watering. There's a lot of toting watering cans up and down, particularly when it's really hot. watering some of the pots twice a day. Things that are planted in the ground, I'm only watering if they are either have been transplanted or if they're looking like they need it. So one or two things are struggling. I showed you the damson tree last time. The aronia and chokeberry are struggling a bit, so I'm giving them a bit of water, but not often, just to help them along. But on the whole, say, just concentrating on what I think is important. Yeah, so just a quick update there. I don't know if there's any tips that are useful. Best advice is always to be ignored, they say. See you later.